My name's Justine. I'm part of the Future Students team here at the University of Tasmania. And tonight we're going to be looking at the sustainable living programs that we offer. Before we start, we'll have an acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge the Palawa Pakana of Lutruwita, the traditional owners of the land upon which we live and work. We pay respects to elders past and present as the knowledge holders and sharers. We honour their strong culture and knowledge as vital to the self-determination, well-being and resilience of their communities. We stand for a future that profoundly respects and acknowledges Aboriginal perspectives, culture, language and history. Today in the webinar, we will cover the following. So why should you study at the University of Tasmania and why sustainable living? What will you study if you choose to study with us? What are the differences between programs such as an undergraduate certificate and a diploma? At university, we use language that can sometimes be a little bit confusing, so we will demystify that. Where can study with us lead you? The type of student support that we have available. We'll discuss our 100% HEX scholarships, so fee scholarships, and how to apply for the particular program that you're interested in. And then we'll also have a Q&A at the end. Why should you study at the University of Tasmania? There are many reasons, but these are just a sample of some of the reasons why our university might appeal to you. So we have above average student satisfaction. So our students are really satisfied with our teaching quality, the engagement that we provide for them compared to 80% of students nationally. So we are above average in our student satisfaction. We also have really strong graduate outcomes. So 82% full-time employment for undergraduate and 96% for postgraduate. It's very high. Student support, we provide a whole range of support to students from the time they express an interest in coming to university and then right through as they study with us. So whether you need help academically with your studies, whether you need assistance finding a job when you've completed your studies or you're coming towards the end of your studies, if you just need someone to talk to. So everything from counselling to academic support, career guidance, there is a support system in place when you study with us. We are also #1 in the world for climate action. So not just in Australia, but globally. So you can become part of the world's leading university on climate action. And we are extremely proud of our university and its achievements and how happy our students are. So speaking of how happy our students are, Kelly actually undertook the Diploma of Sustainable Living, and this is a little snippet of what she has provided us as feedback. So she found it fascinating. So much of it was familiar to her already, the reduce, reuse, recycle, but also she expressed a lot of frustration that there were so many other concepts and strategies that she'd never heard of until she came to study with us at UTAS. So it's always nice to hear that we are broadening people's minds and adding to the experiences that they already have. I'm going to introduce Greg Jordan and Maddie Dobson. Now, they will be delivering the course-specific part of tonight's presentation, and they can answer detailed study questions. So they're our course delivery experts. So over to you, Greg.
Thank you, and welcome to everyone. I'm really pleased to be here. The first thing about the idea of studying sustainable living is that, of course, the university here is offering two offerings, the undergraduate certificate and the diploma. And what they do is that they're really focused on giving real world and practical applications of the dealing with sustainability. So, you know, you might think about university as an ivory tower, but no, we really want to give you two things: a really sound theoretical basis, that's important, but more important still, I believe, is that we want to actually put that into the real world, into your lives. So practical approach, a real toolkit. Part of that is about the people who are teaching us. And so there's a whole bunch of us. I'm just one of them. And we're here and teaching this because we want to be. And that's because A, we're teaching the things that we're experts in. And so you get cutting edge content, you get the genuine expertise and the current state of the art knowledge. And also, it's real. It's the genuine passion. That's why we're here. We want to actually get the ideas out and to help people learn. Um, that's come through in a really big way. And this course, a couple of years ago, was awarded the Australasia-wide Green Gown Award. The Green Gown Award is the awards across universities for sustainability. And we were giving the Next Generation Learning and Skills Award in 2023 for the diploma and the undergraduate certificate for Australasia. And then we went international, and we didn't get the first prize internationally, but we're in the highly commended group globally. So we're actually a pretty big thing. So next slide, please. So now to get down to some nitty gritty about how the course actually runs. The course is made up of a bunch of units. It's 4 units or 8 units. Now, the thing about the units is that these are targeted to students at your level. They're not targeted at high-level university things, though they have enough content in them to keep people with those higher level skills engaged and active. So each unit in the course is different, but generally speaking, you learn through a mixture of online classes, self-directed learning, and of course, assessment. Each core unit will run between 10 and 13 weeks are the typical spans of the units. And each of those weeks, you would expect between 5 and 10 hours of study time commitment. So because each unit is different, and where each unit is good that it's different, they're all delivered in different ways. So there are consistencies, but there are also differences, and those differences are there so that you can learn the specific aims of those units in the best way. So we have classes, so these can be live classes. Everything is delivered online, but some units have live tutorials, regular live tutorials. Other have sort of ad hoc tutorial sessions. All of them have discussion groups which operate both between students and teachers and also amongst students. The frequency of these classes varies quite a lot. There's also, every unit will have quite a large amount of self-directive, interactive activities online using the university's online delivery service called Milo. All of that information will be delivered things. So when you start a unit, what happens is that the very first thing you'll encounter is an explanation of how the unit works and what you're expected to do. And of course, being university units, every unit is assessed. Interestingly, we don't actually use assessment so much to say this student is better than that student. The main reason of assessment is that it's a really powerful tool to initiate people into actually committing to the work. And so it's actually used as an incentive. And the assessments are designed around that idea. They're designed around getting you to learn stuff. And that's really variable. So there are assignments, there are quizzes, there are portfolios. There are also things like engagement in discussion boards. Next slide, please. And over to Maddie, I reckon. So Maddie here is our leader of our dedicated team to help you aspects with study.
Hi everyone. So yeah, as Greg said, I'm Maddie and I work in the DSL support team. So we're basically there to support you through the course in any way apart from actually teaching content. So if you are new to uni or even just new to UTAS, getting your head around some of our online systems can be tricky at first. So we can help you through that, help you with navigating how things work, submitting your assignments, that kind of thing. We're also there to help you plan your study, how many units you want to do, what you might be most interested in. And when things come up throughout the course for you, you know, as things often do, if you've got health issues, personal issues, that kind of thing, we're kind of in between you and the unit coordinator and the course coordinator, so we can support you through that, find extensions if that might be what you need, that kind of thing, right up until when you're ready to either graduate the course or maybe go on to further study in another course or another area. Yeah, we're basically your first point of call for any questions you might have.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Maddie and the team, I work with Maddie and team a lot, and they're invaluable. But I can add one thing, and of course, is that it's not like you have to pass through Maddie. The course unit coordinators and the teachers are there for you as well. So yeah, you should approach whoever you think is most appropriate for whatever question you want to ask. So now, in terms of the structure of these two things, the undergraduate certificate and the diploma are subtly different. The undergraduate certificate is kind of, in effect, just half of the diploma. So it's, in effect, you would take 6 months full-time to do, or 1 year part-time, whereas the diploma is longer. It would be 1 year of full-time or up to 3 years part-time. And of course, we know that most of our students are actually studying part-time, and that's fine. So as I said, each of these courses is made up of units. So the undergraduate certificate is made up of 4 units, and that comprises 1 core unit and then 3 electives, which you select from a total of 13. And so you have to do 1 unit, which is the core, and then you choose any of those 3 others that you wish. The diploma is double that, so that's 8 in total. So it has 2 core units, and then you can do 6 electives. So that is that same 13 plus another 7. We'll talk about HECS scholarships and domestic students in a little bit later, because of a formal slide later to discuss that. We'll just mention that there is coverage of that. Now, to enter the undergraduate certificate, you need some prerequisites, but they're not terribly difficult. Essentially, you need to have completed a TCE or equivalent, or to have completed at least 1 unit of undergraduate study from a recognised university, or have completed a certificate 3 level study for some other study, or you would need to present a personal competency statement detailing your work and life experience. So really, it's actually very open, because that's actually our intention. We're here to actually spread the news, to actually give access to as wide a range of people as we possibly can. So I mentioned the structure of the courses in terms of units. So for the undergraduate certificate, you have 1 compulsory unit, which is an introductory unit. It's called Communicating Sustainability. And what it's about is it gives you a little introduction to the ideas of what sustainability is, but really, so such as what the UN Sustainable Development Goals are and why they matter, but it's also about communication. And the key concept there, of course, is that it doesn't matter how much you know if you can't communicate it. If you actually want to make a real change in the world, it's about communication. And the other side is actually learning how to acquire the information you need to develop that knowledge. Because we can't provide you everything. So all we can do is set you up for your ongoing learning experiences. So that unit is a core unit in the undergraduate certificate. It's also a core unit for starting the diploma. At the other end of the diploma is a capstone unit. It actually can be done at any stage, but normally it would be done at the end. And what it is that term capstone kind of explains what it does. What it does is it synthesizes the information that you've gained in your learnings in all the units you've done, and then gives you, increases your skill set in how to apply those learnings to your own life, and indeed how to contribute to sustainable outcomes across your community and broader communities as well, to the final extent of actually globally. It also gives you some underlying concepts about how social change works and what you can do to drive it. Apart from those two core units, you also have elective units. So you select 3 for the undergraduate certificate or 6 in the diploma. So there are 20 of them total, and all but 7 of them are, no, how many of them? Yes, 6 of them are available in the undergraduate certificate as well. And we've got these broad buckets that we put them in. They're not really completely buckets, but what they say is one of them is actually stuff about what happens in your local area, about your own backyard and your own family and your own lives. And it considers the ideas of housing and how you can have sustainable housing, how you can make your gardens grow. And that's actually a highly sustainable thing. The biodiversity of your local area, fire, which is one of the really biggest issues in Australia, and also fishing. We can scan out to look at the world view of sustainability, climate change, food security, how humans are impacting the world, and how science works, and energy. Then we can think about the concepts of sustainability as a general thing, how societies work and what sustainability is. And so this is talking about very different aspects of sustainability. In general, the social issues of sustainability, the personal issues of sustainability, and other related matters. Then you might think about what happens next. Well, if you do the undergraduate certificate, that gives you 4 units, and of course that flows seamlessly into the diploma. Everything you do in the undergraduate certificate would go straight to the diploma. But also, once you've finished the undergraduate certificate, you're eligible to enrol in a wide range of bachelor level degrees. So it provides you that threshold level equivalent to something like the TCE. Not every degree, so you won't be eligible to medicine, but you should be eligible to things like arts and science and a wide range of highly valuable learnings. To go from the diploma, one of the major options with going for the diploma is actually to move into an undergraduate degree and do a major in sustainability, which is taking those ideas of sustainability to the next level. So if you study the diploma, you will gain 8 units of credit towards a Bachelor of Science with a sustainability major. In effect, you've gained 1 year of your Bachelor of Science degree. You will also gain credit into other undergraduate degrees which offer sustainability as a secondary major. And that is a really wide range of degrees. You'll actually get quite a generous amount of credit. Beyond that, of course, there's career undergrad outcomes. Now, I have to tell you the truth. Having a diploma in sustainability isn't the kind of qualification that, oh, I now am eligible to be guaranteed to get a job. But what it does is it sets you up for so much. We've had graduates who've seen a wide range of career benefits in both government, industry, and of course, apart from that, in their own lives. You think about sustainability, it's a relevant topic in every workplace, and that makes these qualifications a really strong value add. We've had a lot of feedback on the diploma and, of course, the certificate. And one of the strongest signals we've got is that people saying things like, I work in such and such an industry. I didn't realise how much this certificate or diploma would help me in my job. It also, of course, provides an extra layer to make you more marketable as an employee.
So this slide is referring to how tuition fee scholarships work at the university. So as we mentioned, there is a 100% tuition fee scholarship for both the undergraduate certificate and the diploma, and that covers the course fees and the student services and amenities fees. So in order to be eligible for this scholarship, you must be an Australian citizen, permanent resident, humanitarian visa holder, or a New Zealand citizen to receive this. So at the moment, as I said, both the undergraduate certificate and the diploma have this fee scholarship applicable for 2024. So we expect a decision in around August 2024 to advise as to whether it will be continued or not. And I will add, the diploma scholarship has been around for many years and it has continued. Normally each August it's announced and we roll it over to the following year. We can't guarantee it, so it's a good opportunity with the undergraduate certificate this year to apply in semester 2 and take advantage of these scholarships. So you'll still need to fill out a Commonwealth Assistance Form or an ECAF. You'll be prompted to do this when you enrol in the course. This is a generic form that all students studying with us complete. And one of the things to bear in mind, all our fee waivers and scholarships are actually manually added into a student's record. So when you first complete the ECAF, it will appear like you have a fee debt, that you have something to pay, but don't panic. You will not be charged and the system will catch up. Normally it takes a week or two for the team to go in and manually update that. So basically all you need to know is if you meet the criteria around citizenship, you would be eligible to receive 100% fee scholarship for the graduate certificate and the diploma. How do you apply? So you can apply online. It's really straightforward. Our website, our main website, utas.edu.au/apply, will take you directly to our application portal. So once you have applied through the portal and provided the information about your previous study or your work experience, that goes off to our admissions team. You then receive an offer if your application is successful, and we send that to you via email. You can then log back into your portal and accept your offer. You'll then receive your login details, your UTAS login details. So they're the credentials that you use to log into our system. So our online teaching platforms, you get your own email address, student ID number, that all comes through to you once you've accepted your offer. With those credentials, you can then enrol in the units that you want to take. So Greg went through all the different types of units, the core units and the electives. So you'll actually be able to start planning which of those units you want to take and going ahead and enrolling in them. You will get access to our systems. You'll get access support to help you if you need it. There are enrolment sessions, and of course, Maddie's team, the Sustainable Living team, are also there to support you and guide you. Do we have any questions? This is the time to ask anything. There are no bad questions when it comes to study and your future. I noticed, Bron, you popped up
yes,
there.
I've just turned my microphone on. Hi.
Fabulous. I'll hand over to
everyone.
you.
My name's Bronwyn. I work with Justine in the Tasmanian Future Students team. I just wanted to recap on some of the great questions that we've had so far in the Q&A function and just give people a moment to type any extra questions they have. One that we've been getting a little bit of is this webinar being recorded? Yes, it is. And yes, we will send you all a copy of the recording so you can go back over it if there's anything you've missed, and anyone who's not here can have a look at it. We've had some questions about the HEX scholarship, which, as Justine talked about, at this point in time, we know that it's covering 2024, and we're expecting in August to be able to let everyone know what's happening moving forward. But I guess the main message there is to make hay while the sun shines and do the units that you can while they're free. We had another great question from someone asking about what sort of happens to those. So if you were to complete, let's say, 1 or 2 units this year, and if it did turn out that you didn't want to continue with the course for any reason, you would still have always have completed those units, and you would have your transcript that would say that you've done them. So if down the line you wanted to come back into the course in a few years, come into another course, you could use those as entry, yeah, all sorts of things. But once you've completed the unit, you've completed it, and you have a piece of paper to prove it, essentially. I had a fantastic question from a lady who says, I am turning 78. Will this course be for me? And the answer is absolutely yes. It is for you. It's for everyone. And you certainly won't be alone as a student in your 70s in this course. We have such a wide range of ages. We have people from all over the country studying it. And there's a fantastic online community of sustainability students. Just looking, I had someone ask what a TCE is. That's a Tasmanian Certificate of Education. That's just us being Tasmanian and getting bogged down in our acronyms. It basically means your Year 12 certificate. But there's also all those other ways that Greg talked about as well to get into the course. Yeah, I think that is sort of the main questions. I can see a couple more still yet to be answered. Oh, there was a question about starting with the core unit. I believe that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Maddie or Greg, but you're encouraged to do that first core unit within the first few units that you study. So it doesn't have to be the absolute first, but it's encouraged.
Yeah, it should just be
within
within the first 4. Yeah.
We've had a question about when online classes are scheduled, and Greg has responded that they usually run more than once, and I believe that they would also be recorded as well, which is one of the great benefits of studying online, the extra flexibility that it affords you to fit things in when you can. Oh, great question from someone who's asked if this course would be okay for someone who's done a master's degree, and yes, it absolutely would. I've met students who have had all sorts of education backgrounds, and they've really enjoyed the course. So it's not necessarily pitched at a particular level. You can take the academic side of it as far as you would like to go. And just more people confirming about the fees and student contributions. So as Justine said, there's no fees. You don't have to pay the student services and amenities fee either. So yeah, nothing out of pocket.
That's fantastic, Bron. I'm conscious that we've just gone a little bit over time. So what I would like to remind people is that we do have your contact details. We are very conscious that if there are questions still coming in, we will respond to you. So that will come to you via email. I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of what I imagine for most of you is a very busy schedule, and for joining us tonight online. We hope that you have had your questions answered, and that you've gathered the information you need to commence study with us, which is quite exciting. Also, study with us that won't cost you anything this year, which is even more exciting. Thank you to Greg and Maddie and our other wonderful UTAS staff who have made the webinar possible. I'd like to wish you all a really lovely evening. And as I said, any of the questions that we haven't responded to, we will get to as soon as possible. Okay, thank you all very much.